Greetings, royal family, and welcome to another message by the Honorable Yahweh Beit Nun Sophie Yahweh. Now, royal family, this message was taught many years ago by the Honorable Yahweh and is being presented to you today by Yahweh's royal priesthood. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Visit us at Yahweh's royal priesthood, www.yahweh144000.com. And also, royal family, join us at the University of Yahweh, where classes are designed for the Godhead. Visit us at www.universityofyahweh.org. Also, royal family, listen to our weekly podcasts by the University of Yahweh, found on most podcast platforms. We look forward to you being there as well. Enjoy, royal family.
So here we see a puzzle is a puzzling question or a puzzling matter or a puzzling person. It's also a perplexed condition. And it's designed to mystify. So the tree of good and evil is designed to mystify you, cause you to be mystified. It says here that the tree of good and evil is designed to confuse by the word that is eaten. The words from the tree of good and evil are designed to baffle. This, through the knowledge of puzzle, as a word from the tree of good and evil, says that it's designed to be an enigma to you. Since it is a contrivance made purposely perplexing. Purposely perplexing? It's an intentionally obscure statement. That's what Lucifer did to Adam and Eve, to dispossess them of their throne, their power and rulership, Adam's power and rulership. I'll make that real clear to you as I move along here today. Another word from the definition of tree is malapropism, spelled M-A-L-A-P-R-O-P-I-S-M, which is the act or habit of misusing words ridiculously, especially by the confusion of words that are similar in sound. They are a genius at malapropism, or malapropism. They are genius at it. They're genius. They're using it on you every day as they're around you, and they're laughing in your face as they do it on your job. Every word that I'm using here today, they are masters of this. Every one of them know what to equivocate is, what a paronomasia is, what anagrams are, what acoustics are, what word squares, crossword puzzles are designed to do in puzzles and malapropisms. Another word from the tree of good and evil that they use, that Lucifer used, and they use right this minute, is a macaronic, which is M-A-C-A-R-O-N-I-C. That's composed of or characterized by Latin words, listen to this, mixed with vernacular, native or indigenous languages, or the everyday language. Here is Latin mixed with everyday language of a people and terminate in Latin endings. See, in other words, they'll take your word and whatever you're used to using, then they'll add a Latin ending to the word on purpose. That's what a macaronic is. So then you have a composure of a mixture of languages, and so your language becomes mixed and jumbled. Why? So that you can't communicate with yourself, with your own kind, your own family, your own people who speak your language. You become a victim of the Tower of Babel. So your language becomes a babel, and you're unable to communicate with each other. Such as the so-called black man today. He's totally unable to communicate with each other. For this reason, he's suffering from macaroni. Macaroni. Like macaroni almost, doesn't it sound like macaroni? Well, take it for what you want. There it is. Another word from the tree of good and evil is clerihew. C-L-E-R-I-H-E-W. A light verse form, usually consisting of two couplets, with lines of uneven length and irregular meter. The first line usually containing the name of a well-known person, clerihew. So here is a clerihew that Satan Lucifer uses your hero, one of your heroes, basketball players, football players, musicians, or someone else, that he projects before you as one of your leaders that you admire and worship, and then he uses this person to deceive you with uneven, irregular thought by putting this well-known person in the front. That gets your attention and it gets your trust. Another word from the tree of good and evil is limerick. L-I-M-E-R-I-C-K. And that's a kind of humorous verse of 5 lines in which the first, second, and fifth lines rhyme with each other, and the third and fourth lines, which are shorter, form a rhymed couplet. That sounds like a perfect scene for rap coming out. Not that the user of rap understands any part of it, but it grabs everybody's attention, but it's used to fashion the youth into corruption instead of being used to fashion them into righteousness. Another word from the tree of good and evil is palindrome. Palindrome. P-A-L-I-N-D-R-O-M-E. That's a word, a line, or a verse, reading the same backward as forward. What a scheme, huh? But no matter which way you read it forward or read it backwards, and you're still going to be deceived by it. Another word from the tree of good and evil that is being used is univocal. U-N-I-V-O-C-A-L, having only one meaning. You have all of these words that I have given you, the spelling and knowledge of, that are used by the masters of deception in deceiving the whole world. They consciously know it and they never discuss it with you, the victims of the earth. Now, Jeremiah lets us know a secret about the word, what can happen when we eat them. And Jeremiah says, your words were found. They were hid from the carnal-minded world. The words of Yahweh were hid from the carnal-minded world. So he found them. Your words, Yahweh, were found, and I did eat them. And your word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of my heart. For I am called by your name, Yahweh, O Lord God of hosts. So here is Jeremiah saying when he found the words of Yahweh, they were a joy and rejoicing to his heart. Well, what does that mean the words from the tree of good and evil are? Obviously, the opposite. Pain, suffering, misery. Look at the tricks and deceptions and what you're groomed for from the tree of good and evil. Word comes from the Hebrew da-bar, D-A-W-B-A-R, da-bar, da-bar, G-A-W-B-A-R. In Hebrew spelled dalet, bait, resh. And it takes about 30 to 85 different English words to translate the bar, dalet, bait, resh. 85 different English words to describe this one Hebrew word. And it means a mental or oral communication. That's the main idea of the bar. A mental or oral communication. Now here are a few meanings. To falsely promise. See, we're still dealing with the tree of good and evil. Remember, that's what's being eaten from. I only gave you the example of Jeremiah to show you what happens when you find the tree of life. it's a totally different result. We're back to the tree of good and evil, and what happens when you eat words from the tree of good and evil, or words from the books that are good and evil, or words from the libraries of good and evil. And understand that word comes from the Hebrew word dabah. And some of the meanings are to command, to subdue. The purpose of words from the tree of good and evil is to subdue you. In speech, the purpose is another meaning is news. So they always give you news as evil. They pretend there's good and evil. It's always mixed. It's never really good news. It means incident. They're in charge of creating incidents and manipulate chaos. Another meaning is history. And they're always telling his story, never the story, never really truth. Another meaning is question, just as Lucifer questioned Eve concerning the commandments of Yahweh in Genesis chapter 3. Another shock is word here coming from the tree of life, tree of good and evil, is lawsuit. That's why every time you turn around, there's a lawsuit being filed by lawyers. Another meaning of Dabah is a report of what is done, an account of action, to arrange, to speak in a destructive sense. Isn't that something? To speak in a destructive sense, to subdue by the way they answer, to appoint evil people to high posts of position. That's why we fight not against flesh and blood, but against wicked people who are in high places. It's because through the tree of good and evil, they appoint people. They make bids in secret to get contracts out of your tax dollar pockets and take advantage of you and prevent anyone else from competing effectively and fairly. It's designed that way. Meanings of the word is to command, to commune, to declare, to destroy, to give. See, when they give in their charities, they give grants to the wicked scholars to write programs of destruction. That's what comes out of all of those institutions that are set up by Lucifer. They're called, they're tax-free. All the people they give, the devils give their money to those foundations so that they can give it to wicked scholars to write programs that will destroy you and the people of the earth. And they're very effective. Another meaning of each, or word from the tree of good and evil, is name. That's why they have you in their name. Promises, another word, definition is to pronounce and to rehearse. They rehearse their lies. It's obvious that Lucifer rehearsed his lie very well to take it to evil. Another meaning of Dabah from eating, as the word from the tree of good and evil, is double speak. That's when one word is spoken, but it means something entirely different, even such as an allegory or a metaphor. Another meaning is to be spokesman. They always want to be the spokesman to give you their flavor, their idea, and to twist whatever is said. Another definition of it is of a word from each of the tree of good and evil is subdue in the sense of through birth control, subdue through education, subdue through politics, subdue through economics, subdue through the spiritual, religion, subdue through society. Another definition is to teach. They become your teachers. They become the teachers of the world. They go to every country on the earth to become teachers and set up a school and to corrupt the country, the entire country, through their teachers. Another definition of word to eat, of the word eat from the tree of good and evil, is think and to use. And we don't have to worry about, do they use you? Is that correct? Another definition of word, Dabah, from the tree, to eat from the tree of good and evil, is to cause, to act, advice. Always want to give you their advice, which destroys you, into your affairs. To answer because of books, businesses. It means case, care, certain rates, chronicles and communication. They own communication around the world so as to shape the ideas and the thoughts and the minds of the world for their evil that they're going to do. This is direct revelation of the Son of Perdition. The word dabar from each as regards the tree of good and evil is defined as concern, counsel from lawyers, teachers, doctors, decrees, deeds, and disease. Absolutely have here as a definition, disease. Amazing. I'm absolutely amazed. And they're in the laboratories creating new diseases for you every day. Some say they created the disease AIDS just for you. Another definition is duty, effect, eloquent, errand. And here's another, evil flavoredness. Evil flavoredness. That's what comes from the words. That's what you eat from the words of the tree of good and evil. Glory, that which is hurtful and harmful, and iniquity. Actually means those words. It's actually defined as harm, hurt, and iniquity. Judgment, language. I just showed you what they did with language. Lying. It's right here in black and white. Lying. Some more definitions are manner, matter, and the messages that they give out. Nothing, ought, O-U-T-H-T. They bring you to zero. Another definition is to please. They pretend to please you. I'll let you do what you want as long as it's corrupt. Another definition is power, provision, purpose, question. As Lucifer came and enticed Eve to question Yahweh's commandment of thou shalt not eat or touch of this tree of good and evil, that I am now sharing with you the meaning of the words that come from that tree. Another definition is rate, reason, report, false reports, request, sign, tokens, uncleanness, song, carnal, unclean songs, and work. Think about this, my children. To eat from this present day, continuing forbidden tree. It's not a forbidden tree in the past. To eat from this forbidden tree today automatically puts the wicked in power over you. Why? First, you don't know what it is about. Second, because you become dependent upon them. And you become trusting in them for their education of you and your children. The wicked gods of this world have never exposed these cryptic tricks to you or your children in 6,000 years of their rulership. That's why they come unto you as a mighty people. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.